Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined by my co-host, Corey.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not bad. Tired a little bit, Spent a good chunk of the weekend cleaning, and then back to work in the morning for me. But as we record this on Sunday, so yeah. You have a good weekend?
Oh yeah, my work, but
You
it is
worked
what it is.
Saturday?
I did. I worked till I don't remember what time I worked till. It was too long for me. But last week of work, here we go, and then next Friday is
Nothing.
the next Friday after that.
A week from this Friday will be
a week from this Friday.
So a few signings in the BSHL since we last talked. A couple of really big signings, and then some that have.
And you mean that literally?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about a guy like Luke Williams, you're talking about a major signing in this league. So let's start with the Buckbush GCs. They signed some of their depth guys. I mean, let's just be honest here. So Mathieu Bastarache, Justin Leblanc, Josh Leblanc, and Travis Duguay is back again. So somebody, I know I saw some comment, they were like, the JCs basically have their full roster announced, and then they announced 4 players. But let's not forget, I mean, these are those fourth line depth guys, third line depth guys that they're going to be there on the road. They're the heart and soul of the JCs to me.
Absolutely.
These are also all some longer term JCs. So pretty happy to see these guys back again. After that, we went on. Our next signing got a lot of reactions. Let's put it that way.
A few.
155 reactions on our page. People love the fights, man. What can I tell you? Donnie Augustine finally back with the Hawks.
Yeah.
There was rumors that he wanted to be a Hawk a couple years ago, and again last year. That didn't work out for whatever reason. This year he is back. So I know a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know are extremely, extremely happy. Donnie's a super nice guy.
I've never met him.
Our buddy Mark actually played with Donnie growing up. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like that surprised the hell out of me. Mark saying that he played with Donnie and his dad. Mark's dad coached him. Yeah.
So Donnie Augustine, he's a 1992 birth, so 33, which makes sense because that's right around the same age as Mark. So there we go. He formerly played with Perth Andover, played with the Hawks a bit, 2015-16. Then he went and played in the Ligue d'Américaine de Hockey, which is just really tough league in Quebec. Played for Rivière-du-Loup for a couple of years, and then played for Les Pétroliers du Nord. And after that, came back to the Maritimes, played for Dalhousie for just a little cup of tea last year. Wasn't around too long. I think he played a couple games for the Marauders, one of them being in Bucktouche for sure.
Is that the one where he's wearing Sam Jean's jersey?
Yeah, he's wearing Jean.
I remember being so confused by that. I'm like, why is Jean forward?
Yeah, why is Gendron out there warming up? And I was like, yeah, it's not Gendron. That's definitely Donnie Augustine. So anyway, I think Donnie's going to have a good place here, and LC is going to actually...
Absolutely. Every team needs a fighter, so...
I mean, you're not a big fan of the fights. I know that. But it's like I told you. If the Hawks don't have a fighter, Trey Lewis is going to have to answer the bell every game. Every time there's a cheap hit, anything like that, you're going to see Trey have to drop him.
I see the value. Yeah. I see the value in it. The way they had Smear last year, just going on the ice and trying to force a fight and just taking a nonsense penalty, that to me was absolutely stupid. Like, it just made no sense. You're shorthanded now. At the right place, the right time, a fight is needed. I'm all up for it. But just even in Bucktouche with Cullen, sometimes it's like you're on the ice and you're just, that's what you're there for. But no one's there to answer the bell, so you're just like going back and forth trying to antagonize someone, and you're costing your team a penalty.
Yeah, I think, the way Miramichi does it sometimes makes sense to me. Get your fighter out there when there's clearly about to be a fight, or if there's some cheap hit, be able to change lines, get them out there quick to stand up for someone. That makes sense to me as well. And you protect one of your higher skilled top liners in that
Absolutely.
way.
I'm all up for that.
Then we went on. Bell Bay had a batch of signings. Some of which
really?
I know. The fuck sunrise, sunset, Bell Bay sign with more play. Bell Bay, I'll get into the cards here in a second, but Bell Bay with some big signings, honestly. So first of all, they signed Robichaud from Les Corsairs, David Marcotte from Les Corsairs, Jeremy and Jacob Duguay from Les Corsairs, Antoine Landry, which was a very confusing signature. Antoine's a phenomenal goalie, fantastic goalie. We'll get into that in a second. And then obviously the big signing, the big free agent in the league was Luc Williams. Mm-hmm. He lands in Belle Bay. That's a huge acquisition for them. And honestly, Marcotte's been really good the last few years. The Duguay brothers had some depth. Robichaud had some depth. Marcotte's a really solid defenseman. I like the signings. I just don't know where in the hell they're going to put them and how they're going to get the cards down.
Yeah.
But Antoine Landry was a confusing one to me because, I talked with a couple of people and they were like, who's the best 1-2 punch for goalies in the league? And I said, oh, probably Bell Bay. This is the goaltender. Sam Gendreau won the cup with Elsie, won the cup with Dalhousie. His backup with Dalhousie, again, not that hard to figure out. Like
Antoine Landry, he won the final Acadie Chaleur Cup, right? Am I wrong there?
Don't know. I can't confirm nor deny that one.
Was with Trackety, correct?
No, I think he's a shipping guy.
Was he?
So yeah, no, I mean with Savoie and Gendron, I don't know that they need another goalie, but I'm happy for Landry. Well, let me Google it. He's a shipping guy. Almost positive if I only could have the internet loading here. But I don't know. I hesitate to ever say anything terribly negative, but that's a lot of signings in Bell Bay, and I feel bad for the guys that are signing, committing somewhere, and then subsequently getting dropped. Makes things hard. He's a former Marchand de Chipagon, and he also played with Titan, played with St. John, played with Les Acadiens Caraquet, and then played for Les Corsairs a little bit. I'm not sure if he ended up actually playing much last year. But solid goaltender, I don't know. It's confusing to me. They currently, if you want to talk about their cards for 1 second here, they're sitting right now with 7 of 7 level 1 cards, 10 of 8 level 2 cards. So they have to drop 2 level 2s.
What's confusing about all that is how friggin' close we are to puck drop.
We're only 2 weeks from puck drop. So they have Sam McFarland taking up a level 2, Olivier Perrault taking up a level 2, the Duguays both taking up level 2s, Cole McWilliam taking up a level 2, Patrick Loudon taking up a level 2. Obviously, they're going to keep Loudon. Loudon's giving them some grit. Robichaud's a level 2. Joey Terrien's a level 2. I heard that they might have dropped Joey, so I think Joey might not be there anymore. Jared Hill's a level 2. David Marcotte's a level 2. Like, they've just got I'm not saying these aren't all talented players and great signings. They are. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to be able to actually dress these guys, and I don't know for sure that I don't know what the plan is here going forward. They've got some practices coming up, and a couple guys will have to be cut. And that's unfortunate for these guys to have to get cut this close to the season.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That's what I feel bad for. So, next signing here was actually a really big one, and it came to us from Amherst. Wasn't expecting it at all. Rob Van Winsberg. Jesus, that's a mouthful, man. It's a guy's got a solid last name. I've got him pulled up here on Elite Prospects. So he played. He's an Ontario guy. Now lives in St. Stephen, is my understanding. Played some a couple years in the Fed for Danbury and Danville. Played for Peoria in the SP. Back to Dayton in the Fed. Back to the SP with Peoria. Kind of bounced around between those two leagues for about a decade, pretty much. Like, it looks like 8 years playing pro hockey, and good level pro hockey too. 8 or 9 years playing pro hockey. Then played for the Irishmen in the Southern League, and then the Grand Lake Sturgeon in the Southern League. And his, like, a couple of years ago, put up 35 points in 15 games.
Nice.
30 points in 11 games in the Southern League the year before that.
Wow.
The Southern League was very competitive. So, I don't know. To me, it's a real coup for the Ducks here. Van Winsberg to the Ducks. Connor texted me immediately when this was announced, and he was like, that's a really good signing. So, I don't know. Anytime you get Vice President Smith excited, we enjoy that as well. Then the Fredericton Express have dropped Reg Bossier, their goaltender, and they picked up Alex Bishop. Alex Bishop played for the Sea Dogs at Ampol, Val d'Or, Summerside, then went on and played at the University of Toronto. While he was at the University of Toronto, he was an emergency backup goaltender for the Maple Leafs. He also would have sat in on some practices for the Maple Leafs. Normally the E-Bugs sit in on practices for the Maple Leafs. And then he went and played for the Charlotte County Irishmen in the Southern League. So major signing, really big signing.
Yep.
I think, Jean Denon, Savoie would be my 1-2 punch in the league. But, man, now you've got Simpson and in my opinion, Simpson's a legitimate goaltender, a legitimate starter, and then you have Bishop backing him up, or you probably have Bishop starting and Simpson backing up. They'll probably split time.
Probably split the season, I guess.
Makes them look like a pretty terrifying team, in my opinion.
They already look like a terrifying team. Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. Let's get right into that now. We're actually going to talk today about the Fredericton Express. Corey, this is a team that last year did not exist. 2 years ago, this was the River Valley Lumberjacks.
That made it to the finals. They kept all those cards from previous years, and were able to sign a lot of those guys. So if you look down this list, you're going to see a lot of Lumberjacks. I mean, Brady Patterson was there. But the core played, just not together. Like, you're going to name some of these names, and they played. Like, some played for the Hawks, some played for the Corsair, some played for the Northmen. They were spread out all over the place. This is going to be an interesting one, a very interesting one.
And then the additions that they made are major names, big additions. So adding Bishop with Simpson in goal, a great 1-2 punch there. Their defensemen are it's very impressive. Brady Patterson, Connor McCluskey, John Hardy, Seth Fillmore. Hardy is one of the best defensemen in this league year in, year out.
Agreed.
Period. There's not really much more that I can say than that. Then to that, you look at the forward core, which is pretty much the River Valley forward core. Adam Crow, Benji Curtis, Kenny. Then you look at McLean, who played last year with the Hawks. David Brewer, who's a Hawk. Gavin Hart, who played last year in Amherst. Kenny Robinson, who played a bit with the Corsairs.
Not very long, but yeah.
No, Benji and Brady both played for the Corsairs for the better part of the year. So did Connor McCluskey, actually. Trainer was a Hawk. All those Hawks guys made the finals again last year.
Crow, Brewer.
And then you're bringing in a reigning champion with John Hardy's back with the Express. But then let's talk about their additions. Adding a guy like Ryan T-Sink and then adding a guy like Brett Gallant. Both of these guys have a lot of pro experience. Brett is pound for pound one of the toughest guys in hockey, period. I mean, he's fought some of those NHL names that you know. You just have to go on YouTube and punch in Brett Gallant versus, and you can enjoy a few good fights. Trust me. They're there. He's intimidating. He immediately, for years now, the best fighter in the league has been John Doucette, in my opinion. Yeah. I know that's controversial for some, but until John Doucette gets knocked on his ass, he's the best fighter in this league. Brett Gallant comes in, and that's a pretty formidable name. I mean, last year he fought Donald Brashear. Had a great fight with Brashear.
I remember that. So,
I don't know. This is a name, in case anybody loves Shorzy. Gallant's also formerly on Shorzy. So, man, I love Shorzy. What a great fucking show.
The final season they did was the weakest of all the season because they're on summer vacation and there's not a lot to do with hockey. You watch Shorzy for the hockey,
Yeah, the first couple seasons were stunning.
First 3 were amazing.
Yeah, man. Might go back and watch those here leading up to the season. Actually, if I'm looking for as if I don't have enough to do. Who do you think is the biggest addition to this roster this year?
T-Sync.
Not even close. I agree.
Not even close.
I do think that Alex Bishop is a big addition.
He is. Here's my worry about the Fredericton Express. We're not there yet to say, oh, I think this team's going to win. I think that team's going to win. This team is nearly flawless everywhere. In net, they're good.
Man.
On defense, they're good. They got their enforcer. They got their forwards. They got the championship pedigree. Even though they didn't win the cup as the Lumberjacks or Crow Brewer trainer McLean, they didn't win the cup as Hawks. The experience is there. I feel like if this fails, the fall will be hard. So there's like no room for failure here. It's like there's only one gear and you got to turn that dial to 11. You got to be great.
I think they've set this is a very impressive. What's the word that I'm going to use here? This is a very impressive way to make your debut as a team, even though they're the Lumberjacks. In my opinion, they're the Fredericton Express. They weren't here last year. Might as well be a new organization to me.
Yeah.
If you're going into a big city, this is the biggest city that we have in this league. You're going to go into it and try to make a splash. You don't want to go in and suck. Let's just be honest. They did it. If I'm from Fredericton, I'm excited about this. The fact that they're playing out of 3 rinks is confusing, maybe. That's a negative. They're in a new city. That's a negative. But they're in a new city that's exciting, too, so that can be a positive. They're playing in 3 rinks, but it also means that we're going to see some really, really fun rinks. Grand Harvey's a beautiful new rink, but they're playing at the Lady Beaverbrook. I was looking at pictures and videos from it last night. Man, this place looks just like the old Trackety rink. I love it. It looks like it's got like this presence. And then the York has this huge history, obviously, with wrestling, which you're a big fan of, but even with hockey. So, I don't know. I'm pretty excited to see some hockey in Fredericton. I'd say the only part that I'm not looking forward to is the drive, and I'll get over that. I mean, I think it's 4-lane the entire way, so fuck it. We'll stop in Salisbury on the way up and grab ourselves a coffee, and Cheryl can go pee because she pees a lot, and just whatever it is, what it is. I'll fart and stink everybody out of the car so they'll need air. But I don't know. This team really excites me. I'd say as much or more than any other team in the league right now, because they're coming in with a lot of names. My one caveat is last year, the team that excited me the most were the Amherst Ducks. Yeah. They came in with a bunch of names. On paper, they looked like they were going to be world beaters. They ended up having a really big struggle. So it's one thing to get these names and get all these players, but we need these players to commit. They're going to need to get these players on the road with them. The regular season is just a tune-up for the playoffs. We all know that. But the regular season also builds a lot of chemistry. And those teams that make the big run are the teams that are playing for each other. And the best way to build that is those road trips and those road games. That's one thing I will say for the Miramichi Northmen last year. You'd go see the Northmen on the road, 90% of the players were there. So it works. Hopefully we see.
And the year before that, Dalhousie. Always made, and the year before that, the Hawks, and most of the time, I mean, we weren't going to see every game. We weren't a podcast when the Hawks win the cup, but, we saw the Hawks in Bucktouche, and we saw the Hawks at their own home. We saw them in Spring Hill as well, that's right. And most of the team was there.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's the season builds up, and it's long. They're not taking it easy this year with 20 games, and then follow that up with possibly a 21-game playoff. But season tickets are on sale right now for Fredericton Express. If you're listening to this and you're from Fredericton, the first game is going to be on Saturday. I have to change the date here. Look at this. I'm falling apart. The 18th of October at the Lady Beaverbrook. Originally, it was announced that it was at the Grand Harvey. I was looking at the schedule last night. It's at the Lady Beaverbrook, which then led me to look up the Lady Beaverbrook, and it's fucking gorgeous. Corey, you're going to love that rink. My God.
I imagine I will.
Yeah, it's solid. For me, I love Bucktouche. I love a nice new rink. I love Elsie. But I love when there's, you can feel that, I don't know, something to grit in an old arena.
You and Ricky both.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky is such an arena mark. You know, he'd always say Miramichi was his favorite. And then he went to Amherst. And every single time I'm with Ricky in Amherst, he goes, Miramichi was my favorite.
Yeah.
Amherst is now my favorite.
I get that, though. I completely get that. I don't know. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to get Fredericton. That's all we have for the Fredericton Express. Corey, what else do we have to talk about today?
The Hawks and the Junior Seahawks, by the time this comes out, they will have had an exhibition game.
It was announced pretty last minute, so we're pivoting. I think I'm going to be there. I'm going to try and take a few pictures, and I'll be bringing that to you guys on Thursday, which is probably when we'll do our review of the Elspeth Hawks, because, you know, what better time is there? But we're only 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away. Get excited. If you don't have your season tickets, get your season tickets. If your favorite team isn't selling season tickets, get some cash out and get ready to go and pay game per game. We can't wait to see people out there. Support your local teams. And thank you for your support of the podcast. Corey, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
Take care.